I am a fan of Coi Leray.
Right.
Coi Leray is brilliant to me. Coi Leray is a superstar.
In a shocking change of events, there are now claims that Busta Rhymes is being accused of abusing emerging talent Coi Leray based on new evidence. The assertion purportedly made by Benzino, Coi Leray's father, has sparked intense internet responses, leading to numerous altercations and drawing well-known figures. 50 Cent was among the first to respond, swiftly entering the fray to publicly support Busta Rhymes. This was the course of the drama. During their most recent public feud, 50 Cent supported Busta Rhymes on social media while trolling Benzino. He implied that Benzino's continued escalation of the fight is just making matters worse. 50 said, "This guy is a sucker who is attempting to get it busted by using his daughter. You ought to be embarrassed. You now have 50 issues." As soon as the remark went viral, it brought attention to a rivalry that now involves reputational risks. Tensions between the groups are obviously increasing, and lines are being drawn. But we must examine the origins of this conflict if we are to fully comprehend how it started. The narrative begins with a professional partnership between up-and-coming artist Coi Leray and seasoned hip-hop legend Busta Rhymes. While Busta Rhymes was working on a new album earlier this year, he met Coi Leray at a Brooklyn recording studio. According to reports, Busta was drawn to Coi's developing style, unvarnished delivery, and lively charisma, recognizing the possibility of a fruitful partnership. Busta is renowned for his lightning-fast delivery and inventive wordplay.
You should have reached out to me. You know, you don't do no video with my daughter half naked, and you a grown man. You should have reached out to me.
That Coi Leray could give his developing sound a fresh, dynamic edge. He saw her as a new talent who could give his developing sound a distinctive edge. Busta was committed to infusing his music with that new vitality. In turn, Coi honored Busta's legendary stature and saw this as an opportunity to learn from one of the most esteemed hip-hop veterans. Their mutual regard served as the cornerstone of a fruitful partnership. The two artists started generating ideas for their collaborative endeavor through a series of studio sessions and imaginative conversations. They discussed their artistic aspirations, life experiences, and musical influences, finding common ground and a mutual passion for using music to express stories. One of those discussions was when the groundwork for their partnership really took shape. Luxury Life became a song. As the recording progressed, Coi Leray added melodic hooks and a high-energy performing style, while Busta Rhymes offered his trademark rapid-fire bars and lyrical perfection. As a consequence, two different sounds were seamlessly combined to create an engaging piece that highlighted the skills of both artists. The group created a visually stunning music video to go with the song, which was helmed by a renowned director, who has received accolades for his inventive cinematography. The visual storyline reflected the song's themes of celebration and luxury in a number of stylish ensembles. Coi Leray attracted attention and gave each scene flair. Fans praised the surprising but successful partnership and the release of Luxury Life sparked intense reactions. There was a lot of talk about Busta and Coi Leray's remarkable chemistry. Their opposing yet complementary energies attracted attention, creating a lot of buzz on social media and bringing the song to the public's attention. The partnership wasn't universally praised, though. Benzino Correa's father openly expressed his disgust, pointing out that the music video's visual presentation was very bad. He was worried about Key's clothes
About nothing on no social media,
which he characterized as inappropriate and unduly exposing. Benzino maintained that before putting Coi in such a graphically offensive setting. Busta Rhymes, a well-respected industry veteran, ought to have gotten in touch with him directly. Instead of confronting him directly, Busta Rhymes gave a subtle reply. "Don't ever let the devil trick you into thinking you are not blessed," he wrote in a mysterious post on his Instagram story. Speculation was immediately triggered by the post. His remarks sparked discussion among fans and onlookers who questioned if they were a denial, a deflection, or just a more general philosophical assertion. The dispute soon spread beyond the initial parties. 50 Cent, a seasoned rapper, publicly supported Busta in the dispute. By himself, he shared a video of Benzino's tirade on his Instagram account, mocking him in the caption for supposedly exploiting the incident to get more popular. "This guy's a sucker trying to use his daughter to get at Busta," the caption said. "You ought to be embarrassed. You have 50 problems now." Emojis of laughter and direct references to Busta Rhymes were included with the post. The public conversation was heightened by 50 Cent's engagement. Fans and industry leaders alike responded to his tweet, which received thousands of responses. The battle evolved from a dispute over creative direction into a much larger internet conflict as allegiances were sworn and tempers flared. Benzino, never one to keep quiet, responded with yet another video. In it, he answered severely, dismissing 50 Cent as jealous and labeling him a bully. In addition to accusing 50 of failing in his paternal duties, he asserted supremacy in riches and lifestyle. Beyond the initial artistic issues, the rivalry had now descended into extremely personal ground. Additionally, Benzino asserted that 50 Cent had abandoned his previous partners, including Lloyd Banks and Young Buck. The feud escalated into a full-fledged public altercation as a result of this accusation, with every new post adding fuel to an already fierce fire. The interactions between 50 Cent and Benzino grew more antagonistic. But Busta Rhymes adopted a radically different tack in the midst of the conflict. Busta Rhymes spoke candidly about the incident in an interview with Angela Yee on the way up. He was disappointed about Benzino's choice to voice complaints in public rather than in a straightforward and private discussion. Bua underlined that Benzino had his contact details and could have easily gotten in touch if there were any issues that needed to be politely addressed. "Because you got my phone number," Bua said, emphasizing that a candid conversation between males may have kept the matter from degenerating into a public spat. According to the interview, Bua and Benzino had a complex past that was marked by animosity as well as respect. Busta brought up previous situations that had allegedly resulted in physical altercations between Benzino and Dave Mays, their former business partner at The Source magazine. According to Busta, these incidents demonstrated the difficulties and unpredictability that might result from unresolved disputes in the sector. In spite of those instances, Busta, where credit was due, Rhymes gave it. He gave credit to Benzino's contributions to hip-hop through The Source, a magazine that was essential in influencing the genre and advancing up-and-coming musicians. He said that Benzino had served as a mediator between him and Dave Mays in times of disagreement, showing that there had once been a basis for understanding. Busta came to the conclusion that although differences would always arise, it was crucial to handle them with maturity and candor. The conversation provided insight into how long-standing relationships may be put to the test when communication is overshadowed by pride, providing a rare moment of clarity within the tumult. Benzino decided to keep silent on social media, whereas Busta Rhymes handled the matter in a tactful manner. But Coi Leray, the main player in the first dispute, was another person whose silence said more than words. Her choice to remain silent in public left many admirers are wondering what she really thinks about her father's charges against Busta Rhymes. Nonetheless, there is precedent for this circumstance. Benzino has frequently been known to offer advice on his daughter's professional choices. He frequently criticized her career decisions on Twitter, highlighting internal strife and exposing private family matters for the public to see. However, how did their tension escalate to this degree? Coi Leray first became well known, thanks to her breakthrough smash song, No More Parties. The song soon acquired popularity, bringing her into the public eye and drawing the interest of other musicians and industry leaders. Her unique sound and unafraid demeanor contributed to the development of a growing reputation for audacious independence and genuineness. But what caused the uproar was the content of her lyrics. Coi expressed her inner turmoil and grievances with her father Benigno using her platform. She expressed disappointment in her lyrics, exposing scars that went beyond disputes at work. The sentences she used were, "My daddy let me down, but I promise you I won't let up," highlighting their tense relationship directly. Because of the genuine emotion she conveyed in her delivery, her message struck a chord with the audience. The public reacted favorably, with many praising her bravery in using her work to address personal trauma. However, Benzino promptly denied it. He claimed that Coi was brought up in luxury, enjoyed a life of affluence, and was granted every chance she ever asked for. A highly visible conflict between father and daughter was sparked by this denial. Several social media platforms witnessed what might have been a private family situation. Both parties issued statements in public, which widened the gap even more, and made their private argument the talk of the country. A complicated picture of fame, family, and emotional consequences was shown in the drama. "I never ever hated my own daughter," Benigno said in a furious internet post in response to growing criticism of his tense relationship with Coi Leray. He asserted that he has been misrepresented and that his only goal in making public remarks has been to rectify what he perceives to be flagrant lies about him. Benzino claims that Coi, who called him broke and downplayed his influence in a song, was the one who started the public conflict. Benigno called out what happened in the post, which escalated. He thinks it's a more serious betrayal. He accused anonymous people of using his daughter as a weapon against him, even implying that her TV role was a calculated attempt to discredit him. "We're at war, right?" he said. His rage was evident, and he ended his letter by taking a strong stance, saying that true dads and men would sympathize with him, and denouncing anyone who encouraged what he perceives to be manipulation. In a heated interview with the Weigh-In Miami podcast, Benzino described the emotional toll that his daughter's feud has taken on him. He talked about the sacrifices he made throughout his years at the Source magazine, and how heartbroken he was by the public backlash. Coi Leray, meanwhile, has spoken out about her father's legacy. She recognized his notoriety in the hip-hop scene of the 1990s and gave him credit for influencing a significant cultural period. However, she also made it apparent that their financial position collapsed when he lost the Source magazine when she was only 9 years old. Coi claims that memory influenced how she perceived mistrust and instability. A recurrent subject is her dissatisfaction with his time spent on hip-hop and love, as well as her belief that he managed the Source's legacy poorly. Coi believes his public image has tarnished the worth of what he once created and eclipsed the importance of his prior achievements. Their story becomes even more emotionally complex as a result. It becomes clear that isolated incidents are not the root of their separation. It has to do with identity, control, and legacy. A parent who is fervently seeking recognition for his creations is on one side. Conversely, a daughter battling for autonomy and acceptance in her own correct. Coi has made it apparent that she feels her father should finally take a back seat, and that now is her moment to shine. Beyond just music, Benzino's meddling in Coi Leray's career frequently caused controversy and misunderstanding. One major occurrence occurred when Benzino prematurely declared on social media that Coi and Nicki Minaj had a duet in the works. She has a single with Nicki Minaj that will be out soon. "That's going to be crazy," he said with assurance. Nicki Minaj swiftly refuted any such cooperation, though, giving the impression that the announcement was a complete fabrication. In response to criticism from the public, Benzino apologized to both artists, saying, "I feel terrible and depressed. I'm completely at fault, and it won't occur again." The harm had already been done, even with the apologies. And it increased worries about his propensity to introduce himself to Coi's work life. Coi raised consideration for a part in 50 Cent's popular TV show Power was another example of overreach. "I'm going to make her show up on your TV," 50 Cent wrote enthusiastically on Instagram when he announced the casting. "Put the first week of work out of your mind." Green light, gang? Fans were excited with the post, but Benzino wasn't. "Hey Ratman, aka 59, I appreciate you putting my Coi on. But does she know you and stars haven't been seeing eye to eye lately?" was Benzino's skeptical reply. It is evident that this animosity extends beyond current events because of the tone of the rekindled tensions between him and 50 Cent and hinted sarcasm. Coi Leray has now started to feel the immediate effects of their protracted feud. From twisting public perceptions to raising questions about professional prospects, Benzino's behavior has unnecessarily hampered her career. But in order to fully see how these tensions have come to this point, we must go back to the late 1990s, when Benzino was a significant industry figure and co-owner of Source magazine. It's one of the most significant hip-hop publications at the time. And 50 Cent was an ambitious upstart from Queens, New York. The first roots of their decades-long animosity were sown in that cutthroat and frequently brutal music industry. Over time, this hostility has only become more personal and public, although the details of their first meeting are still unknown. It is generally accepted that 50 Cent and Benzino first met at a prominent music business function in New York City. But in the year 2000, a crucial event would reshape their relationship and determine its course. Disagreement, it took place at the storied recording studio known as the Hit Factory, which is situated on 54th Street. The studio, which was well known for housing some of the biggest hip-hop stars, was the scene of an unanticipated catastrophe. 50 Cent was stabbed several times during a violent brawl that day, leaving him with significant injuries. Traditionally, the Hit Factory served as a center for talent, creativity, and teamwork. However, it became the scene of a risky altercation on this specific day. Tensions rapidly increased as 50 Cent entered the studio, leading to an attack that left him bleeding and in urgent need of medical care. According to reports, Benzino saw the immediate aftermath of the attack because he was in the building at the time. In spite of any conflicts or due to their antagonism, Benzino's response was impulsive. He was aware of how serious the issue was and that a life might be in jeopardy. Benzino responded with swift action. He arranged for transportation, called a car service, and made sure 50 Cent was driven to the hospital as soon as possible. Any professional or personal distinctions were subordinated in that instant to a human reaction. A side of Benzino that rarely makes headlines, one characterized by decisive action in a crisis, was exposed by this intervention, which is rarely discussed in public. A previously acrimonious relationship between the two men was made more complex by this one incident, even though their rivalry would subsequently worsen. The long-running conflict between these musicians took on a life of its own, enthralling audiences and the media worldwide. The Sector. The publication of disc recordings from all sides was one of the defining features of this era, known for his unrestrained lyrical flair. 50 Cent responded to Benzino and Ja Rule with a string of singles that were full of scathing critiques and personal digs. These songs heightened an already tense battle by attacking both personal histories and believability. Ja Rule did not remain quiet. He put out his own songs. Each one seeks to undermine 50 Cent's reputation and status within the hip-hop scene. Meanwhile, Benzino, utilizing his own platform, added fuel to the flames, contributing to the ongoing conversation. With each new album being more vicious than the last, the lyrical battle swiftly intensified and garnered widespread attention on both radio and online forums. However, it wasn't only the music. Social media, award events, and interviews were all affected by the feud. Audiences were kept interested by heated arguments, on-stage jabs, and viral moments. Each new development was eagerly anticipated by fans. Rap beef became a cultural spectacle as a result of the headline-driven struggle for supremacy. Whether it was expressed through a biting song or a contentious post, the industry changed throughout time. The focus changed, new performers appeared, and the feud's intensity subsided. Though reflection replaced the once explosive struggle, The resentment persisted. The tension between Benino and 50 Cent continues to boil online through barbs, memes, and indirect shots, even though Ja Rule and 50 have distanced themselves from the ferocity of that time. It's still unclear if these musicians will ever put an end to the conflict, or is the animosity too ingrained to be healed? The answer will come in time. To ensure you don't miss the next update, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel and enable notifications if you like this in-depth look. Click on one of the videos that are currently playing on your screen if you're prepared for additional in-depth analyses.